We are joined now by New Jersey Congressman, a Republican there in the great state of New Jersey. He's also the New Jersey State Director for the Trump 2024 campaign, Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, before we get into the Harris interview, I have a lot of questions on that. I want to get your reaction. This is just coming into this new ad. It was produced by Nicole Shanahan. And Shanahan, of course, was RFK Jr.'s former running mate before he suspended his campaign and, of course, endorsed President Trump. Take a look at this. It's getting a lot of buzz, and we just got this.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing Independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, Independence allows for constructive critical thinking.
Congressman, what is your reaction to that? It's a very interesting ad.
It's a good ad. I mean, it's really what the issue is. You know, what the media and what the left and what the Democrats and what many of the educational institutions and the celebrities and some of the big corporations are trying to do is say, you know, we want you to worry about Donald Trump. Don't look where we were 4 years ago compared to where we are now, because then obviously you're going to support President Trump. They want to just try to scare you. But this ad says, you know what? Let's really think about it. Let's really think about the issues. Let's really think about what they stand for. Let's really think about the future in America. And if you do that, you really don't have any choice but to vote for Donald J. Trump for president. It's that simple.
You know, you talked about the issues. We just played that clip of her talking about the border, blaming Donald Trump. It is extraordinary. Your thoughts on the interview and some of her spinning that went on and on and on during that interview?
Well, it's repugnant, actually. You know, there's one thing that you should expect from your elected officials, and certainly the highest elected office in the land, is some modicum, some little honesty and truth. Kamala, you were in charge of the border. You were the administration. It was the Biden-Harris administration. What happened at the border, our open borders, are a result of your work. Now she's saying, don't look at what I did for 4 years. Listen to what I say now because I'm running an election. How silly is that? How wrong is it? How disingenuous is it? It's really disturbing. And here's what's scary. They're hoping that just by pounding that in over and over again, they just get an extra number of votes, that they actually convince people that their lies are true. Here's the deal. Kamala Harris ought to either repudiate everything she's done for the last 3.5 years or defend what she's done in the last 3.5 years, but not lie and say she's going to do something she's never going to do.
You know, we look also about how dramatic the migrant crisis has become. And one of the things that I think epitomizes it more than anything, and we saw some really shocking video this week, Congressman, at the apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. It has been brutally terrorized by Venezuelan gang members this week. Apparently, there's multiple ones. There's been a new task force that's been formed to investigate Venezuelan gang activity in Aurora as a result. And by the way, in the last hours, the mayor there has taken matters into his own hands because he feels he doesn't have any support from the Democratic governor there, Jared Polis. And the mayor and the police department are working together, and they're calling it a criminal nuisance. I'm praying for our law enforcement because they got to go in and now clear out these guys. But doesn't this sort of epitomize just how dangerous it is to have an open border and you're not vetting who's coming in?
Absolutely. And let's be clear, and I'm not being partisan here. I'm just saying the facts. The left, the Democrats, Kamala Harris is responsible for this. There's a direct line between what's happening at our borders and in our country and the proposals of this administration. She says now that she's going to really have strong borders and enforce the borders. It was she and President Biden that put forward all the executive orders to remove to put in place catch and release, to remove building the wall, to remove immediately extraditing to the country of origin, to remove the stay in Mexico policy, all the good policies that we had where we had slowed down illegal immigration to a dribble, they removed them. This is a direct result of that. So again, it's so disingenuous and awful what they're trying to do to the American people. It's disrespectful to the American people what they're doing. And are we surprised at any of this? We shouldn't be. We are allowing people in the country, some of whom are real bad people. And when President Trump tells the truth and says that, they want to say, or me, even when I say it, they'll say you're racist, you don't like immigration. I love immigration, legal immigration, not illegal immigration. We are letting bad, dangerous people into the country. And by the way, it's costing us a fortune because in some cases we have to feed them, house them, transport them with transportation from place to place. We are in some cases actually helping them with education. We're hurting our hardworking American citizens who are breaking their back every single day to try to make a living. We're costing them money. And we're not doing the things for America that we should be doing because we're doing it for these illegals, some of whom are very bad people. We need to tighten this up and we need to send the bad folks back home.
And we are busting at the seams when you look at also the economy, like you just talked about. I just saw it was costing $150 billion is what they say this crisis has been costing America. That is a stunning amount. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you very much. Really great to have you here.
Always good to be with you, Rita. Thank you.
Thank you.